They weren't supposed to remember. They were just children, born a year after two sisters died, in a quiet English town. But sometimes they would stop mid-sentence and listen, like someone was still speaking to them. This is The Vanishings, real stories that don't fully make sense. Stories where something doesn't stay gone. The town of Hexham was quiet the day the girls died. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes small things feel permanent. Joanna and Jacqueline Pollock were walking together, like they always did. Same street, same routine, nothing unusual. Then, a car. A sudden movement. A sound that didn't belong there. And then, nothing. No warning. No time to react. Just silence. By the time anyone reached them, it was already over. Their parents were told what people are always told. That it was tragic. That it was sudden. That it was final. They were told to grieve, to accept it, to move forward. But John Pollock didn't argue. He didn't shout. He didn't break down in public. He just said something, quietly, more than once. They'll come back, not if, when. People stopped correcting him, not because they believed him, but because something in the way he said it felt certain. A year later, Florence Pollock gave birth to twins, Gillian and Jennifer. At first, there was nothing unusual. No signs. No reason to think anything was wrong. Just two children, starting over. Then Jennifer's marks appeared. A faint line across her forehead. Another along her hip. Not random. Placed exactly where Jacqueline had been injured. Before she died. Their mother noticed. But she said nothing. After that, she watched them more closely than she meant to. When the twins began to speak, they didn't ask for toys. They named them. Names no one had used in that house, since the older girls died. Their parents hesitated before bringing the box down. It had been sealed, put away, left untouched. When they opened it, neither child seemed surprised. The girls moved at the same time, crossing the room together, kneeling beside the box like they had been waiting for it. Jennifer reached in first. Gillian followed. Each took a toy, without searching. You kept them, not a question. Their parents had never told them they had. After that, it came in pieces. A street name spoken casually. A house described in detail they had never seen. Arguments over rooms that had never been theirs. Always theirs. Never someone else's. Sometimes they corrected each other. Sometimes they agreed too quickly, as if getting it wrong mattered. The first time the fear came, it wasn't loud. A car passed too close to the curb. Both girls stopped, not startled. Still. Their hands found each other without looking. They stepped back together. No. Soft. Like it had already happened. After that, it didn't take much. The sound of an engine. A car turning the corner. Even an empty road. Too quiet, too open. They would freeze, then panic. Clutching each other. Pulling away from something no one else could see. Once, Jennifer covered her head. Gillian tried to pull her down with her. Get back. Their parents never asked which one said it. When they were taken back to Hexham, no one told them where they were. They didn't need to be told. They didn't explore. They moved, turning down streets without hesitation, pointing at buildings before they came into view, correcting directions, arguing, then agreeing again, as if remembering wasn't enough, as if they had to get it right. And sometimes, only sometimes, they would stop, mid-sentence, both of them, at the same time, turning their heads slightly, like someone had just spoken. Nothing was there, but they listened, for a few seconds too long. Then gradually, it began to fade, The names came less often. The certainty softened. The fear loosened its grip. By the time they were 6, the memories were gone. Or at least, they stopped talking about them. They grew up. Normal lives. Normal memories. No more stories. No more fear. Mostly. Years later, people tried to explain it. Coincidence, suggestion, grief filling in the gaps, and maybe that's all it was. But sometimes, even years later, Jennifer would still react. A car passing too fast, an engine too loud, and once, without thinking, she said, "Not again." 2 sisters die, 2 more are born, and for a while, something remembers. Not everything, not clearly, but enough to know it wasn't supposed to end like that. If you enjoy stories like this, real cases that don't fully make sense, make sure you're subscribed to The Vanishings, because the next story might be even harder to explain.